Well, hello there. Hi, Amber's
Hi,
side
I'm here.
of her face and the
Hi, I'm
puppy.
here with
I think
Christina.
Amber's frozen. This is great. So my
Hello.
Wi-Fi is down. I don't know if you guys can see Amber because I can't. It's just gonna be that day.
Can you see me?
Hi.
Can you
All I
see me
saw was
now?
the side of your. No, it
Oh
shows right now.
no.
I can see it's delayed. This is just gonna be the day. It was working just fine, was it not?
Oh, it was working wonderfully a minute ago.
Okay, wait. This is going to be every episode. We're going to have this every single episode. All right, I think it's just me at this point. I'm just going to have to learn to adapt because my Wi-Fi is out yet again at my apartment complex. So this is fun. I'm doing this directly from my phone. Amber is here, and we have some of our awesome guests waiting in the wings. We're going to kind of catch up for a few minutes, right, Amber?
Yes.
Oh, an angry
I'm
face.
doing.
I love when people are angry. That's great.
Maybe they're mad at the service.
I'm mad at the service. I don't blame them. This is great.
I agree. Yeah, I
We
agree.
literally just did our production meeting. We we just did our production meeting 15 minutes ago and it was working fine up until the point we went live, and then it's just
Of course.
absolute chaos. Of course. Oh, now I can see you and hear you. This is great. So if you guys can tell I'm on my cell phone, hey, because my laptop doesn't want to connect because the Wi-Fi is down, as I said. But yeah, today's show is going to be super great. Thank you so much for joining us, the Broadway Fan Club. We are so close to hitting 400,000. We're at 389,000 followers amongst all of our groups. If you do not know what other groups we run, oh, Cheyenne, why angry people? Yeah, maybe mad about the Wi-Fi being down. Damn right. I'm mad about it. Let people be angry. They can write to Spectrum. Started to throw Spectrum some shade, but I had them out, I had them out here literally last week, like, hi, so our StreamYard and like all my streaming is just not working anymore. They're like, oh, it's your computer. I'm like, really? Because it says there's no Wi-Fi in the community, but that's cool. Anyways, please feel free to join us. We have our link tree that we also.
Oh, you're gone now. Oh no, Heather. All right, well, I guess Heather is stepping away for a moment, so that's no fun. Oh, here she comes. She's coming back.
I'm gonna let Amber hang out for a minute. I'm gonna go to the lounge and see if it's any better.
All right.
That's what's gonna happen. Yay! Wait. Oh, wait. Is it working now?
I think it's working.
Yes, it's working. Okay, we switched sides. All right. I love Cheyenne's message. And there goes Heather.
And there goes
yes,
Heather.
and there goes Heather. This is great. Oh. And I'm here. I'm back here again. So yes, please join us on our link tree. You can also find that at thebroadwayfanclub.com. Everything's going to be super delayed on my end today. It's awesome. If I just drop off, will anybody really miss me?
Yes.
And I'm frozen again.
Not looking at
I
the
think
top
we're
of my
going to
head
have.
right now.
Damn
I'm
it.
sharing to all of our groups.
Oh, did you really so much? Amber, can you talk to our friends for about 2 minutes while I go try to find another location?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, do you want to bring in our friends?
Fantastic. I'll be back.
I don't know how to do that. All right. So, guys, this week I won the lottery for Cabaret. I could not believe it. It was incredible. I was like sitting at home and I got the text message and I was like, could not believe. At first, it was for a Monday night, so I assumed that it was going to be a day that Eddie wasn't going to be in, but he turned out to be in, and it was just Gail wasn't in. So I claimed the tickets. I was coming into the city from Connecticut, so I took a half day at work, went into the city, met up with a friend. We got our tickets. They were in the very last row in the mezzanine. And let me tell you, I was a little bit concerned because I am an orchestra girl, but I had a perfect view from the mezzanine. So anyone who is concerned about where you sit for cabaret, when they say there is not a bad seat in the house, they absolutely mean there is not a bad seat in that house. I was almost in the aisle. I was a couple seats from the aisle, and I could see everything absolutely perfectly. I was in the west mezzanine, so I had to actually cross the theater or cross the stage to get up to the mezzanine, which was kind of cool to like get to walk through the whole stage area. But it's a little bit interesting because you're kind of like stuck there if you like need to leave for whatever reason. So if you have to like go to the bathroom, make sure you do that before the show.
Hi.
I was just telling everyone about my cabaret experience.
Oh, yes, please do.
But no, that's okay. We can talk about it after. Let's get to the show a-rolling.
I'm currently outside. My earbuds aren't connecting, so it's going to be a fun show. But yes, I'm outside. And if anybody ever wanted to see where I live, too bad, but I'm going to show you guys. That's Universal Studios, like right there. Very happy. But it's 90 degrees, and I'm going to sit outside to hang out with their friends. I'm totally okay with that. And it works, so it's great. Yeah, so today's show is going to be really great. Amber, tell everybody about the cabaret experience. Totally fine. You had a great time, and you won the lottery, which is amazing.
Yeah, I was just saying how my seats were on the West Mez, so you're kind of like stuck there if you once you get there. So like make sure you use the bathroom, make sure you have everything you need. But they do the food and drink delivery to those seats. So if you are sitting in the mez, you can scan the QR code on your chair and they will deliver food and drink to your seat, which is awesome. And then, of course, the show was absolutely amazing. The ensemble blew my mind. BB Newirth blew my mind. Steven Skybell, the whole cast.
Everybody. Oh, yeah. Everybody. And then I literally talked to her literally like as she was going to her seat as soon as intermission started. And she's like, I couldn't keep my eyes off of David Marino.
Yeah, he was amazing. He just
they're pretty great.
Pulling my eye. Just the way they like move. And the way their body just it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. Dancer's body, but with a theater heart and mind too. So I love it.
Yes.
Oh, look, my eyes match my wall. I feel like Dorothy. Today's show is going to be really incredible. I'm so fortunate to talking about theater and theater mind. I've been very fortunate amongst my travels and my participation with like the Orlando Fringe and local theater to have made some incredible connections, my extended family, if you will. And I am beyond thrilled that two of my extended family have been able to make it to our show today. Amber just met them when we did our pre-show meeting. And for those of you that don't know, we have Vulva, Va-Voom and Shane Mayforth on our show to kind of talk a little bit more about the Fringe and what Fringe really does for the community. For those of you guys not following with what's been going on the last week or so, keeping in mind that I'm in Florida, our governor, Ron DeSantis, made a weird statement of he is pulling funding from all arts and culture because of, quote, the Fringe, and it's a sexual festival. So I figured, well, what better opportunity to say, hey, there's differing opinions here. And I am going to be very honored. And please, if you're at home, still give them a warm round of applause. Let's bring on Vulva, Va-Voom, and Shane Mayforth. Yay! Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Yay! I'm going to snap because I'm holding my phone with the other hand. But we're so excited to have you guys here. And I haven't seen you guys since Fringe ended at the end of May. Yeah. Because not only did you do Orlando Fringe, but then you moved and went to do Tampa Fringe.
Yes,
and Fort Myers Fringe, didn't you?
Yes. Between our two companies, first of all, thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Nice to meet you, Amber. So between our two companies, we are doing, I think it's either an 8 or a 9 city tour this season. It's been very intense. Hi, Cheyenne. It's been really intense. So it was Orlando Winter Festival, Festin 4 in January. Boom, boom, boom. Asheville, New York City, Orlando,
nonstop.
Tampa. Yeah, it's been intense.
Now, for those of you that are watching at home, listening at home, that might not know about the Fringe or what Vulva or what Shane do, I think it's best to open it up to both of them to kind of explain, one, the shows that they have produced, starred in, directed. Pretty much, if you guys want to give our followers a basic understanding of what kind of shows you guys do, what it means, or why you're deciding to do these shows, and how much I love you.
Aww.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about let's start with just a high-level overview for folks who didn't catch earlier. If you explain, I know you've mentioned Fringe in earlier episodes, but
yes.
For folks who are not familiar, the Fringe movement was started about 80 years ago when there was a curated festival in Edinburgh. And the artists who were not invited to that curated festival said, you know, up yours, we're going to set out up on the fringes of this festival.
And curated festival meaning the venues selected which performances were going to be at those venues.
Meaning a central authority kind of juried the selections,
sure.
or generally speaking. So there are two kinds of Fringe festivals. There are lotteried and there are curated, and both are perfectly valid. But when people think of the Fringe movement, they generally think of the open access, put your name in the hat and see if you get drawn.
And it's literally a hat.
And it's uncensored, which is, you know, part of the wonder of keeping art for everyone, for everybody's voice to be heard.
And it's not just adult-friendly shows, it is kid-friendly shows. I personally have been involved with multiple shows that are family-friendly, that are kid-friendly, that are good for all ages.
Yeah.
It's really for everybody. They make like, especially here in Orlando Fringe, we have a kids Fringe. And it's really incredible to start kids off young in the theater world, and they're just so lovely and well behaved. But these are the creative minds that I think are going to lead us down the road. There's puppet acts. I mean, there's so much stuff, family friendly. It's not this, quote, to me, sexual festival. I mean, I'd love to find one of those, but it's not here. I've never been to one, but hey, bring it on.
I can point you to one in Key West.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, so go ahead.
It's such a miscategorization because like you said, there's so much of everything. I mean, from family friendly to serious drama pieces, comedy, magic,
musicals.
It's, I mean, even just the number of shows that have gone on to like off-Broadway or Broadway runs that have come out of the Fringe Festival. Like Urinetown was a Fringe show. Like
Disenchanted
originally
was a Fringe show.
Yeah.
And that's about Disney princesses.
Yeah, it's just it is not an accurate description at all. I mean, I will say one of the quotes was, you know, artists doing all this stuff. Yeah, we're doing all this stuff, but not in the sexual context, right? I mean, it is all of this stuff, like any kind of performance. And yeah, it personally is so. It just hurts me to hear that kind of scapegoating and just miscategorization.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great way to put it, Shane. And I mean, I did see like the Fringe festivals. Like, there's a major organization worldwide, and so many Fringes were like, "Hey, I support Florida Fringes." Like, there's so many, and there's a lot of support. And like, I think that you guys really have hit the nail on the head with kind of the way that you have responded to this. Do you guys want to kind of give us a rundown as to what we are about to show to our viewers?
Sure. So, as was mentioned, Governor DeSantis at a press conference when he was questioned about cutting, let's emphasize, all $32 million of the state's arts and culture budget. He just vetoed the entire thing. This is very much in the vein of a teacher who says one student is chewing gum and therefore everyone else will have this very major consequence. So, I mean, we're talking museums, history centers, music, theater, visual arts.
And Fringe,
anything
Fringe,
creative, right brain people need to be involved with, it's now non-funded.
yeah, and Fringe was 0.25% of
It's
that
insane.
32
Now,
million.
let's
That's
also-
what's ridiculous. Yeah.
Let's give more context. So in the state of Florida, there are 4 Fringe festivals. Orlando, which is the oldest in the United States at, I think, 33 years. Very, very large. Most people in Orlando who have anything to do with the arts know about it. Tampa, we are, that's our home festival. We are in year 8 of Tampa Fringe. There's also Fort Myers, in which I did participate this year, which is in its 2nd year, and Sarasota, which is also in its 2nd year.
And I mean, there used to be a Miami one. There's been kind of all over the state.
There's, you know, it really just kind of depends where is there the community support and the individuals who are willing to step up and take over the leadership responsibilities for the organization, the administration, all of that. And so in the press conference, the governor did not directly mention to which festival he was referring, but later at a different time, his press secretary and his communications director pointed the finger squarely at a production at our home festival written by a longtime friend of mine. The production is called Captain Havoc and the Big Titty Bog Witches. By Kristen Haley. She is a rather an absurdist playwright. She works in she's very flamboyant. She's very she uses a lot of very hard-hitting wordplay, and it's not so unusual for her to, but it's a satire. It's kind of a social satire. But he pointed directly at that production.
Yeah, because there's never been anything. I mean, it makes no sense. I'm kind of flabbergasted, and I started reading it. It was like getting gut punched. There's cabarets. There are celebration of bodies. You know, our friend Maddie McLean, he did Bodies last year. What was Bodies? Bodies was Maddie's realization of getting out of a domestic violence situation and finding peace. Oh, I get chills thinking about it. Finding peace and joy and acceptance of his own body, and encourages people to accept their own bodies. What is he doing during that? He is body painting somebody at their comfort level. Just this past Friday, he did a performance at the Kitty Beautiful, our friend the Strausses, in downtown Orlando. And we had Bikini Danny from Orlando Fringe sat there with pasties on, totally fine, with her permission. Her husband was sitting in the audience, and it wasn't sexual, and it was appreciation of body and mind. And it was beautiful to watch, because Maddie brought everybody over to a mirror and pretty much was like, accept who you're looking at in the mirror. And then whatever words you've been called negatively, he encouraged people to paint on his body, and then sat there and watched as he washed those away. And it was cathartic. And it was, ooh, I get chills. Sorry. It was cathartic, and it was beautiful. And I've had the fortunate opportunity to see both Vulva and Shane shows, and they're fun and tongue-in-cheek, but there's definite serious messages behind them. And it's not like a free-for-all of like boobs and butt and everything in between. It's something that's important and messages that need to get out. And the minute that this happened, and I was fortunate enough that V was like, hey, check this out. I was like, I want you on the podcast. I think it's so important to get a message across. You you know, we want to support our friends. We want to support local theater. Like without local theater, I don't know where I'd be. And especially without the Fringe, I wouldn't have two incredible friends that are sitting on the show right now. And I'm very appreciative for it. But at the same time, I wouldn't be so deep in the theater world. I would never have met Amber. We would have never created the Broadway fan club and our company. There's so much that local theater and Fringe needs to support. So yes, set us up for this response. I think you guys have done a pretty good job. Are you ready to roll tape?
Sure, I think
Well,
so.
I
Yes.
think,
So this
well,
is
yeah, I think we should
Go ahead.
make sure, just to be clear, this is the
Absolutely.
artists. These are
This is
just
the artists.
artists. This
Yes.
is ourselves and several other artists that have participated in shows or stage shows at Tampa Fringe either this year or in past years.
Yeah,
So-
this
And
is
they
this
do
is
other.
not
It's not
Yes, it's
officially
nothing to
related to any Fringe.
it's not
No.
it's neither
Exactly.
condoned nor endorsed in any way by the Tampa Fringe organization. It is simply they do not censor if artists who have performed with them or who frequently perform with them want to go out into the world and release a message, they are
Right.
kind enough
This was-
not to try to quash it.
Right. This was done on your own behalf. This wasn't done on the behalf of anybody as a response. This was the artists coming together and several people in this video who use the Fringe circuits as their only source of income and way of doing theater. But this was something that was done by the artists for the community. It is not directly from the Fringe. It is not affiliated with any Fringe festivals. This is directly from you guys as a direct response. Is that the best way of putting it out there?
I'd
Yep.
say that's correct. However, if any Fringe festivals around the world would care to share it in solidarity, we would be more than okay with that.
Yes, and they can find it on your link trees. Is that correct? And I can share those after the video is done.
Yes, please. It's Linktree / Va-Voom Cabaret. And you can also search for me on my social media on both the Facebook and Instagram. I'm at Vulva Va-Voom.
Fantastic. And we will see you on the other side. Amber, is that tape ready to roll?
It is. All right.
Okay.
Let me.
Amber's having to run the studio today because I'm stuck on the phone because of the Wi-Fi, but she got it. So let's see. You can do it, Amber. If we've got faith. Amber. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's loading. This is so exciting. And play.
Why? I want to kill the subtitles.
DeSantis veto all $32 million of the state's arts and culture funding? Oh, we know why. Because of one independent theater festival.
The Fringe Festival, which is like a sexual festival where they're doing all this stuff. And it's like,
According to DeSantis's communications director, Brian Griffin, we know who's to blame for this dramatic loss of funding, the Tampa International Fringe Festival. But artists who have staged their work there have a message for the many Florida nonprofits who were impacted. It's our fault.
When I staged my current event sketch comedy show at the Tampa International Fringe Festival, I didn't know I would be responsible for an orchestra camp losing its Florida state funding.
When I staged my traumatic immigrant coming-of-age story at the Tampa Fringe, I didn't know I would be responsible for a flamenco dance company losing their Florida state funding.
When I came to Florida to do my comedy storytelling shows, I didn't know that I'd be taking funding away from an avant-garde sculpture park. I didn't know.
When I brought my family-friendly magic show to the Tampa Fringe, I didn't know that I'd be taking Florida state funding from a children's puppet theater.
When I staged my abstract comedy about McDonald's at the Tampa Fringe, I didn't know I would be responsible for a history museum losing its Florida state funding.
When I staged my sexual clowning satire of academia at the Tampa International Fringe Festival, I didn't know that I would be responsible for an opera production losing their Florida state funding.
Als ich dieses Jahr beim Tampa Fringe Festival meine Stand-up-Comedy-Show zum Thema Deutschland aufgeführt habe, hatte ich keine Ahnung, dass eine Theatertruppe wegen mir ihre staatliche Förderung verliert.
When I staged my Florida political satire at this year's Fringe, I had no idea that I would be responsible for all these sexual festivals losing all this stuff. I'm sorry.
Also, tut mir wirklich leid.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know. I'm sorry for that.
As you can see, these Tampa Fringe alumni take full responsibility for the sexual festival that led to this devastating blow to our state's arts and culture. We're sorry.
I'm sorry.
This message has not been approved by the producers of Captain Havoc and the Big City Bog Witches.
Yeah. So there you
Gumbo,
have it.
Gumbo just gets me every time.
Gumbo gets me every
That
time.
was amazing. That was awesome.
For those of you that don't know theater group Gumbo, they are just the kindest people. They come from Japan every year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do a lot. Just absolutely the most kind people. The show they're most known for, oh God, now I can't think of the actual name of it, but
Are
it's
You
like,
Loving It?
yes, thank you. And it's like McDonald's with like a crazy Japanese game show with like everything else in between, but it's fun and it's enjoyable and like it's just wacky. And we got to see John Bennett there, who's an incredible performer. Keith Brown, who does some really great magic, Paco Earhart, like who literally had a family emergency this year during the Orlando Fringe, wasn't able to do his show and still came to support the Orlando Fringe and be there as a patron and come see his second family. And then he got to do Tampa Fringe, which was fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't know the other two that were in the video. I think one's Layla, is that correct?
No, Layla unfortunately was not able to join us. She's not well.
Okay.
Well,
So
she was in
that
the
was
video, but she was in the video.
Right.
she was in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, Layla was oh, that's right. I'm sorry. So that's three people you might not know. So yeah, Layla Lee from The Lightbringer. And then Clark Brooks, who does Tampa News Force, a news parody show in Tampa. And Nicole, who is new to Tampa Fringe, but she staged a political satire with a certain politician on the poster, which, you know, was very well received by most people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was a very good satire piece. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, so
I mean, as far
you
as
were-
I knew, freedom of speech was still a thing.
supposed to be. So as you were mentioning, Maddie's, beautiful show. I think that's an excellent case in point. Is that it really depends upon one's mindset, right? Because if you are someone who has nuanced thinking and wants to, be very open-minded, you would say, oh, wow, what an interesting medium for this person to talk about bodies and to be painting bodies and to use the bodies as their canvas. But if you are prurient, if you are closed-minded, if you are, if you tend to suspect, that things are going to be dirty, you might say, why is this person painting on this other person's breast tissue in public? Well, that's not, it's just like the Merkin sisters
It's
do this
art.
absolutely brilliant show.
Yeah.
That is like one of Shane's very favorite shows is the Merkin sisters. It has some nudity in it, but the nudity is not by no means sexual. It is completely artistically justified.
Yeah, I think it also is telling,
Right.
like you mentioned
mean, even-
like you mentioned about Paco, who had that family emergency and still came to see his friends. I mean, look, if it was a sexual festival, I think he would have been there for the sex. But no, he just came for his family.
Absolutely.
So,
Right.
I think that speaks a lot. And yeah, it really is a community. I mean, we've all seen these, most of these performers throughout the years. I think all of us keep in touch when we're not touring, when there's not festivals. It really is an extended family. And the one thing that is nice, I think, to see coming out of all of this is that community demonstrating the strength of it, like coming together, putting together this response video, you know, like Gumbo, like getting into costume just for that. That to me is amazing.
It's really
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm on a delay.
So it could be possible for I don't know that anyone who really is realistic would say, "Oh gosh, you know, these sexual festivals shouldn't be staging this R-rated stuff. They shouldn't be doing the big titty bog witches. They shouldn't have Merkin sisters doing an absurdist clowning show that with heavy themes of, you know, the objectification of female bodies. They shouldn't have this body painter who's doing so my solo show is about my personal experience. Most of my shows are comedy heavy. Most of my shows are very funny. But the solo show that I'm touring this year is the true story autobiographical of growing up transmasculine, identifying in a very conservative agricultural southern small town in the 80s and 90s. And it has, you know, I dance around in a strap-on. I do a fair amount of cursing. I talk about some really gritty stuff.
And you
Someone
do
could
a
point
great
to that.
job at it.
Well, thank you. Shane's show is he's got a satire of academia with, you know, phallic shapes everywhere, but it's all artistically justified. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be. If someone wanted to do a show called The Big Titty Bog Witches that wasn't very clever, that didn't, I mean, you could hear her audiences cheering from the other side of the building because it was so funny. But if someone in an unjuried festival decided that they just want to do a show that is rude and crude and makes a lot of dumb sexual jokes, they're free to do that because it's an uncensored festival. Snap.
Yeah, I think it's
I
also
agree.
worth
I
noting.
mean,
I think it's also worth noting that that particular show, Kristen's show, had a sold out run. The entire run sold out. Like, so this isn't just something that is, you know, people didn't want to go see. Like, this was obviously a very well done production, and the attendance kind of reflected that. You know, it just cheapens it, you know, when the governor or his appointees make these accusations and point to this show. And it I don't know, for me, like being, you know, 40 something, it reminds me of like the Tipper Gore, you know, going after like Two Live Crew. You know, like, really, are we back to this? Like, ooh, there's some spicy language in the show. There's no nudity in it, some spicy language, some clever wordplay. Really, we're back to here?
I also want to point out, I did some back of the envelope math. So my show was in 3 of the 4 Florida festivals this year. And I did a little math, roughly 120 shows at Orlando, not counting things like an artist cabaret, a flashlight cabaret, not counting any of that stuff. 120 there, 30 at Tampa, 9 at Sarasota, 9 at Fort Myers, some others along the way. So roughly 170 shows. And we point to one show with an R-rated title, which is, again, as Shane stated, not a burlesque show, not a weird, you know, interpretive, you know, body modern dance nude show or anything like that, but just a play, a comedy play with a rude word.
And one that was, you know, identified by the producers as being only suitable for 18 and up. So it's not, you know, again, where's the problem?
Right.
We have a problem with adults seeing this. Why? We have a lot bigger issues in this state.
Right.
Like, come on.
So, Fringe
Cheyenne
Festival
says it almost feels like. I'm still in a delay. I'm so sorry. Cheyenne said it almost feels like oppression, and I honestly thought that's what separated us from places like Russia, that we weren't being oppressed. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep, same.
So, you know, coming back to the the aspect of making sure children are not, shown these plays or these dance pieces or what have you. Fringe festivals are not a free for all. If there's anything that is 18 plus, either it takes place well after 8, 9, 10 p.m. If people are going to do an artist cabaret where there might be cuss words or something, or if it's a show during the daytime, there are front of house volunteers who check tickets and make sure that everybody is age appropriate for what's being shown. We've had people ask, I've had people ask, may I bring my 17-year-old to your show? And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say the answer is no. I'm very, very happy when young people, 18 and up, especially queer young people, come to see my show. But I do not want anyone pointing at any of these shows and saying, oh, they saw this show with pasties or what have you. We're pretty strict about that.
Yeah, I think it's important that, these are regulations that we have at the festivals to ensure that people aren't seeing things that would be considered age inappropriate, but it's supposed to be freedom of speech. So I'll be curious to see what happens from this. I'm so appreciative that you guys have created a video that I think is really poignant. I do hope that it's embraced by the community even more so. And when we're talking about like these artists that were in the video, you've got Canada, Germany, New Zealand, Japan, and local, of course. But like this is a worldwide situation. And why are my friends and family being blamed for something that's clearly not a real situation? That's all I'm gonna say on the matter before I get myself in trouble.
Well, you
And
can't
I'm
say
sorry
it,
for
but
moving around so much. Yeah, go ahead.
You can't say it, but I can use the word scapegoat. In my opinion, it's a scapegoat situation.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And my dad called me out. My dad just texted me. He goes, "Why are you moving around so much?" Because my Wi-Fi is out, Dad. My Wi-Fi is out. You must have missed that. So I'm not moving around to be in the light and everybody can possibly watch fireworks behind me. It's called Finding Your Light, Dad. Look it up.
The city lights of Universal behind you are actually pretty cool. That's nice looking.
And Volcano Bay and all sorts of weird stuff behind me. Well, next time you come visit town, you guys can come and hang out.
Yeah,
sure.
we'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
You
but
better.
first, after the last couple stops on this tour, we're going to KC Fringe next, and then Minnesota Fringe after it. So.
And then
Amazing.
Con.
You guys are and Dragon. Oh, geez. I'll be at BroadwayCon. We're going to talk about that later in the episode. I'll be in BroadwayCon next month. I'm so excited. But I'm so appreciative for you guys to be on here. I'm going to throw Vulva and Shane's link trees up if you guys want to take an opportunity to check out what they do, and if you want to get in touch or you want to get involved somehow. Vulva is linktree/Va-Voom Cabaret, VAVOOM CABARET. And Shane's is linktree/boiled horse, BOILEDHORSE. I'm sure there was a story behind that. But we'll save that for next time. You guys have spent so much time here. We're so appreciative of it. I love your faces so much, and I'm so proud of you for having a good response and handling yourself so professionally. So thank you. You make me very proud to be part of this community. So thanks, guys.
Thank y'all so much for having us.
you.
I will
Yes,
not
thanks for
always be
coming.
handling it professionally. I will definitely be handling it unprofessionally at certain points, but we appreciate y'all giving us the exposure. And hello, Broadway fans. We love your communities. They're super cool, and nice to meet you, Amber.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
help out.
absolutely.
And for your listeners, like, help out your local theater. They need it, especially if you're in Florida. They need it, that help now more than ever, because people don't just walk on, like, shows don't just show up on Broadway.
Right.
The actors start somewhere, the shows start somewhere.
That's right.
Local.
Don't help your local theater. Help the theaters in Florida.
That's
because
right.
Some of them are going to be shut down. This budget cut came very soon before the fiscal year turnover for some organizations. Some of them are really, really, really struggling. You can find a list of the organizations that were, whose grant funding was cut in publications. especially the Tampa Fringe.
So again, if you guys want more, please go visit. If you guys want to go visit both Vulva or Shane's link trees, or if you have any questions and you've missed the opportunity on the podcast, you're more than welcome to send us at the Broadway Fan Club a direct message, and we'll be happy to get you guys in touch. And I know you guys are running around, but I love your faces so much, and you're free to leave. You're more than welcome to hang out, but I know that you're like, oh God, I'm talked out. So
yeah, we've got it. We've got a tour coming up again.
But thank you
guys so
guys
much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks, guys. Bye,
you.
Shane.
Bye.
Bye. Aww. It was good to have him
That
on the
was
show.
so
It was nice.
fun.
It was very nice.
Yeah, that video was so
They're
cool.
so good. Yeah. Well, isn't it? Like, I really love our creative community, and just Jane and V are some of the most lovely people that you'll meet. And I'm so appreciative for them taking their time and doing that, especially because they're so like in the middle of getting ready for every tour. And enjoy the beautiful not sunset behind me.
Yeah, it looks great.
If only you could see my setup. So I was in this corner and like I set up my little camping chair. You guys are going to laugh if you can see this. And the camping chair apparently broke. So I am sitting with my knees to my chest right now.
Oh no.
With the card table in front of me to prop my elbows up for the next 20 minutes of our show.
Awesome.
Oh my God, I'm going to call Spectrum now. As soon as we're done with our show, Spectrum is going to get an earful. But thank you guys so much for kind of putting up with it's like the Heather's Wi-Fi tax. Every show we're going to see how long I can be on air without any problems. It'll be fine. Yeah, Spectrum tells, and Amber, I told you this earlier, Spectrum legit was like, here, no, it's your laptop. Really? Because the Wi-Fi is out. Like,
right.
My streaming, my phone, it's not my laptop. It's their service. Yay. Right. We have a lot more on the agenda to talk about, don't we?
We do. Yes, we do.
We
do.
I'm going to let Amber start to drive this bus along a little bit. It's
All
like
right.
speed. You got to go speed. All right, Amber, take it away.
Well, we'll go with the closing news first.
So start with the bad news first. All right, that's
Start
cool.
with the bad news first. Beautiful Noise, Appropriate, and Mary Jane all played their final performances on June 30th.
Crazy.
So happy trails.
Now, Appropriate was a limited run, and so was so is Mary Jane.
Yes.
Beautiful Noise was not meant to be a limited run, but it was kind of already assumed a while ago. But yes, happy trails to them. We're excited to see where the cast ends up next. Our girl Amber Ardolino moved over from Back to the Future to go to Beautiful Noise as a lead debut. So excited for her. And she just did, if you guys are looking at the Broadway Bears pictures or our shares on our Instagram at the B-Way Fan Club, she did this like incredible, I can't get over the pictures that she's been posting with like her ankle like way up in the air. Jesus Christ. She is just incredible. So happy trails to them. We can't wait to see what's next. Appropriate and Mary Jane, so incredible, got such accolades, and we know they're going to wind up somewhere awesome soon.
Yes, and that's for shows that have said their goodbyes. We also had an announcement from our good friends over at the Who's Tommy. They will be playing their final performance on July 21st.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys get your tickets. Go check out our friends. That show is incredible. It does deserve to be seen, so you guys don't want to miss it before it closes.
That cast, like, let me tell you, that cast is such a big family. I know we kind of briefly talked about it when I got back after seeing their cabaret that they did with Ben Cameron. Oh my God, like I love them, and they're so sweet, and so freaking talented. Like they are going places.
Debuts. Yeah.
So many. I mean, little kids down up to adults and everybody in between, and they're all each as lovely as the other. Not a single diva on the cast, men or women. And their families are sweet because in our Pinball Wizards group, like there's so many family members who are like, we love our blah blah blah, and it's just amazing. So
Yes.
please, if you can, support that show. And we're going to be sad to see it. And I'm bummed because I come up 4 days later for BroadwayCon and I'm like, oh man, I can't go see Tommy. And I love it. I literally I have a Pinball Wizard sweatshirt that I got, like a hoodie, from the show. Last time I saw it, it has like the cool patch and then it has the logo on the back. And I'm just going to wear the hell out of it, even though it's going to be 90 degrees outside.
Didn't you say it's super comfy too?
It's so soft because it's not like heavy. So like I shouldn't be buying hoodies at shows because I live in Florida, and
Right.
they're also really expensive. But I have a Tommy hoodie. I have a Benzini Brothers hoodie or sweatshirt, which you saw me buy at the opening night for
did.
Water for Elephants because it was like 20 degrees.
Right.
But it's super soft. I have a New York hoodie, and then the thickest hoodie I own is my Phantom hoodie, but it's super comfy. But no, it's like thin and really light and very soft. And the hood is like the good big size where it just kind of fits over headphones and my buns, which you can't see in the dark right now.
Yes.
But yes, it'll be a sad day, but yeah.
Yeah. We also have one more week of our friends over at Merrily We Roll Along. They will be playing their final performance next week on the 7th.
Which was also a planned limited run. It's
Planned
not that they
run,
were
yeah.
just closing, they were selling out every night. Tickets are crazy. People keep asking about stage doors. I know they're limiting people coming back. They're asking for people earlier in the day. They're limiting that. So, try to get what you can while you can, but please just go enjoy the show. There are so many rumors. Yes, it's been recorded. We don't know what for, but as soon as we find out, we will post on Old Friends. Again, with all of these groups, you can go to the BroadwayFanClub.com, or you can go directly to our link tree at linktree/the Broadway Fan Club, and that'll show you all of the groups that we're talking about here, because these are all of our families. We are so excited to be able to have so many incredible followers and community members. I hate the word follower or viewers. You guys are our friends and our family, and we want to do whatever we can to support you guys so that you can enjoy yourselves and the community itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Speaking of supporting, I'm going to bring back Cabaret for a second because Amber, I know that you guys you talked to the beginning when I was really having phone and camera and internet issues, because thank you, technology.
Yes.
Apparently, I should be living in the 1800s. I don't know. But you won the lottery. Did you tell everybody
did.
how freaking cheap the lottery ticket was?
I did
$25?
I did not. I didn't want to brag.
$25.
$25.
No,
To
screw
see
that.
Cabaret.
You can brag. $25 for the Cabaret lottery.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I've spent significantly
beat
more
that.
than that. That's why
Can't
she's got
beat
that
that.
big grin. No, you
I
can't.
still have my sticker.
But I'm
here
so
on
glad
my
that you saw it, because now
phone.
we can talk and compare notes.
Yes, absolutely.
Nerd. It's fine.
Loved
I love it.
Loved
Oh, you can
every
see my
minute.
necklace really well. I don't know if you guys can see my Choose the Ride necklace.
Ride,
Thanks from Jen
yes.
Ike for making it for me. It's everything. All right, what's next on the agenda here? We got 12 minutes left. We might go a little bit longer because internet.
Yes, we might. They made an announcement about the Wicked movie. They are moving the release date, I believe, a week
Yeah,
early.
so they're a week earlier so that they don't compare.
Yes.
Yep, so they don't compete with Moana,
2.
right?
Yes.
Right. I think that was a smart move. I really do. You don't want two major, you don't want two movies that everyone's looking forward to that have been talked about so much to come out in the same day. Like, that's just, they've done it. It's just not good for anybody, especially because, well, not a lot of people are going to movies these days.
Right, I agree. And it's not where it's like Barbie and Oppenheimer, where they're two completely different demographics. These are more
Right,
of the
that's right.
similar, you know what I mean? It's kind of being marketed to the same crowd. People that like
Absolutely.
musicals, Disney. All right.
Oh,
Next on
I
our
guess I
list.
froze because you froze. This is fun.
Oh, good.
Just shows that I can work in any conditions. That's all it shows.
All right. Well, next on our list, it's almost as if the Broadway gods were listening in on us because they heard Cheyenne mention Broadway Barks at the end of our podcast last week. And then, like, the next day, there was an announcement that Broadway Barks was going to be Saturday, August 3rd. So that was announced.
That's right.
For those that don't know, it was
And of course,
started by Bernadette Peters and Mary Tyler Moore. It is a benefit for the New York City Animal Rescue Groups and open to the public. I didn't know this since it started in 1998. Approximately 85% of the animals showcased have all found homes. So that's amazing. It's done really great things for the animal community.
Yeah, and it's a fun event. I love the social media leading up to it. We are working on being able to get some exclusive content, so keep an eye out for our Broadway Barks content. Cheyenne, I brought the juju for them to make the announcement, I guess. Yes, you did. And we're okay with that. But again, Dave said I'm going to be... Oh, go ahead.
It's being hosted again this year by Bernadette Peters and Sutton Foster, so that's amazing. We all know Sutton is a huge animal lover.
Oh, yeah. And again, hosted on a date. I'm going to be in New York until the 29th for BroadwayCon. And then it's like 5 days later. What is going on here? It's okay. It's all right. I won't cry or just stay the whole time. All right, what's next? That's right. So Broadway Barks. What's next on the agenda here?
Next thing on the agenda, we do have the announcement for Broadway in the Park at Bryant Park, which is the free lunch.
And I'm going to be in New York for one of them. I'm so excited.
For one of them. Yes.
One of them.
So they do free performances during the lunch hour at Bryant Park. It's about 4 different days. I believe it's on Thursdays.
It's on Thursdays. I think it's 12:30 to 1:30, right?
12:30 to 1:30, yes. Mm-hmm. So I did take screenshots of the dates that are performing. So if you're looking for a certain show, listen up.
And you can also see them on our Instagram post.
Yes, you can. On July 11th, we have Back to the Future, Hell's Kitchen, Tommy, The Wiz, and Water for Elephants.
That's next. Next Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Next Thursday. July 18th will be Disney on Broadway. So Aladdin, Frozen, The Lion King. That's going to be a good one.
Amazing.
July 25th. This is going to be a little bit
of a
sexier one.
Yeah, because I'm going to be
there. Moulin Rouge, The Book of Mormon, The Great Gatsby, and The Notebook.
Yep, I think romance and sex, but also like Book of Mormon kind of doesn't fall in between, even though there is a love story. Right. So I'm just excited because I love every single one of those shows. I'm so excited.
I agree.
So
those
excited.
Shows are all great.
But also talking about Moulin Rouge, our girl's gonna be going soon, and then there's some new people coming in, isn't there?
There are some new people coming in. Who's coming back?
So Courtney's leaving, Derek's leaving, And Aaron Tveit is coming back. And so is JoJo, which is amazing. Because I saw her with Derek Klena, but Aaron's finally back. And I know that we have some really incredible members who are very obsessed. Jessica Gerard for the win. Love you. I think she and I are neck and neck. Didn't she buy 6 days of tickets? I love it.
Sure.
Yeah, Aaron's back. And so it'll be nice to see him going from Sweeney Todd to Christian. But I was there for one of his very first shows in Can, and the man can sing, but he also cries, and it's like amazing. So I'm so excited. I'm definitely an Aaron fan, which doesn't that bring us to our new inventory in our shop?
It does, actually.
Oh, and while you're getting ready to do that, Cheyenne says, speaking of Mulan, did you hear Boy George is slated to assume the role of Ziegler in September? I did not. That is news to me. So I'd be curious to see how that'll be with the 3 of them. That'll be a crazy house. That is like good stunt casting, but also very good talent casting too. All right, Amber, show them what they want to see.
I picked up a Beetlejuice bracelet in addition to it. I was like, why do I have an extra one? So
whatever.
We made a Moulin Rouge set with the truth, beauty, freedom, and love. So you can head to the Broadway Fan Club Etsy shop to check out our array of bracelets. We will be having
That's right, and the link is on the shop right now.
Flash sale. So keep an eye out for the code that will be coming up in the next day or so. If you've been
and we'll be putting that on the group and the page.
Yeah, so keep an eye
out. That's awesome.
Again,
and you also are going to be starting. We're going to start also doing like I love Aaron, I love Josh, I love. So if you have a Broadway star that you love, I love Sutton, I love Bernadette, tell us, we'll make them because we're loving this. We have some
Jeremy.
limited Merrily We Roll Along sets. I love, of course, everybody loves Jeremy Jordan. I'm so excited that we are doing as much as we possibly can, and you are working your little fingers off to the bone. So if you guys want to go to our Etsy shop, it's at BroadwayFanClub.etsy.com. You can also find that directly on our link tree, which will show merch, which is linktree/BroadwayFanClub or the BroadwayFanClub.com. We've got them all, baby. All right, where's this bus taking us next, Amber?
This bus is headed to tell you the final date of the performances for the Broadway in the Park, which is Thursday, August 1st. There is a pre-show performance from Mean Girls, a special performance from the students of AMGA College of the Performing Arts.
Yeah, AMDA. All right.
And then the Broadway performances of And Juliet, A Wonderful World, which is a new show coming to Broadway.
Yes.
The Musical, and The Outsiders.
Ooh, that's going to be a good show too. I think every one of them is going to be something unique and different. It's at Bryant Park, which if you guys have not been to Bryant Park, it's not that big. That's where they have like the Holiday Village, and it seems decent sized, but it's really not that big. It's like maybe 3 blocks.
So intimate.
Very intimate. I'm sure they're going to have some food options because it's lunchtime. But get there as early as you can. Enjoy the beautiful weather. It might be hot, it might be raining, but it's free Broadway. Why not? So I'll be there.
Chairs available, or you can bring a blanket and sit in the lawn, whatever you prefer.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait. I'll be posting live as much as I can from the 25th.
Awesome. Can't wait to see pics and videos.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next on our list.
I love this. You driving the bus tonight. It's fantastic.
We have, what do you want to talk about first? BroadwayCon or the Broadway Cruise?
Ooh, I'm going to talk about BroadwayCon because I keep talking about the 25th and 29th.
Okay.
So BroadwayCon, for those that don't know, it's a Comic-Con all Broadway. It was started by Anthony Rapp from Rent. It is crazy. Cosplay contests, vendors, panels, performances. So me personally, I will be hosting Broadway trivia on Friday. I think it's at 5 p.m. Friday the 26th, because it's running the 26th, 27th, and 28th. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do have a promo code if you guys want a discount. We get nothing from it. It's just to give you guys some cheaper tickets. They have day passes, they have weekend passes. It's really going to be an incredible sight to see because every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. There's panels from different performers. There's a Women of Gatsby panel that one of our Gatsby members created. There is, maybe we should tell them, go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I've never been to one before. You can pre-sign up for these panels as well.
Yes, that's correct. So if they go to the BroadwayCon website, they can actually create a profile. They can look through the schedules, and they can actually, once they're logged in, they can decide which panels they want to attend. You're not required. You're not buying tickets for it, but you're kind of just saying like, hey, I'm here. I think the last time I checked, right now, signed up were like 30 people for the trivia, but I will tell you from previous experiences hosting trivia at Comic-Cons, turns out to be about 300. I don't know how big the room is. This is my first time hosting this kind of event at BroadwayCon, so it'll be really interesting to see and find out. From the rumors that we're hearing, there might be a screening of a pro shot that just came out recently. Yeah, there might be some fun stuff. So as it happens, we will let you guys know. Clearly, we'll be posting photos and videos. There's a Disney musical sing-along. There's a Broadway musicals debate. There's a Sondheim meetup. And if you're planning on being at BroadwayCon, whether you have your tickets or you want that promo code from us, keep an eye out because they're actually going to be doing a ribbon trade, like a convention ribbon trade. And the Broadway Fan Club might have some special ribbons for you. So we're really excited to rock and roll here. We're also going to have some limited merch available that we're also going to put onto our merch that you, again, can find on the BroadwayFanClub.com. So we're so excited, and we can't wait. So I'm very excited to just, New York is New York, and I love New York, and I love our shows. But damn, is that going to be a heavy Broadway weekend for me? And I am freaking here for it.
Yes, absolutely.
And Amber is dog sitting that weekend. I tried to convince her to bring the dog to BroadwayCon, but you can't bring the dog to BroadwayCon. It's not a service animal. So, and speaking of dogs, we're gonna take a fur.
She has a 90-pound Great Pyrenees, so it's not even like I can fit her in a bag or anything. She is a beast.
No, she can fit you in a bag.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. No, fair. And I think that I have to call puppy tax right now. So for those of you guys that are just tuning in or have never seen the show before or just forgot, Amber is a foster, and she fosters different animals pretty much every week, or she has it for a couple weeks. So Amber, why don't you show everybody at home your new friend?
It's the same friend from last week. She's sleeping. She just woke up. She's warmed up a little bit. She's enjoying herself a little more. This is Christina. We actually just heard today that she might be featured on our local news in an adoption segment to try to get her adopted. So that will be very cool.
Where is that? The Connecticut? Go ahead. Give
Humane Society. And they work with our local news stations to have little segments to adopt, to show off the animals that are available for adoption. And they want to feature Christina next. So we're going to do a little segment for her.
And she was mad at you because you were telling me earlier. So Amber got this amazing opportunity to see Cabaret, had a really awesome night, spends 2.5 hours in the train ride home, gets home, gets herself nice and comfy and cozy to get in bed because she has to be up early for work, puts Christina to bed, and Christina peed in the bed, like your bed.
Yeah, like my
So
bed.
nice
Like
of
the
her.
second I put her in the bed. Because she was mad at
She
me.
was mad
because
at
I
you.
left her.
So
I left her with my friend to dog sit yesterday.
But I told Amber, I said, you should go pee in her bed now.
Right?
She was down for it.
My bed is her bed.
Yeah, don't pee in your own bed. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Never mind. But yes, so you guys got the puppy tax today. We're excited for that. So you've got the Heather is having technical support issues, tax, and the puppy tax. This is great. We're going to start a bingo card.
Right?
But the good news is that there's fireworks starting behind me, so you guys might get a fireworks show as well.
Awesome. Very cool.
All right, and then moving right along to the Broadway cruise, right?
Yes, the Broadway cruise.
Yes. So, and I know we're running over time. I'll be quick. So the Broadway cruise, if you guys haven't seen the post that I've been making, it's something that Six Man puts on. Consider it a festival at sea. Consider it a Comic-Con. And it's on a cruise ship. So if you like cruising and you like Broadway, it's amazing. It's on Norwegian. So the itinerary next year is March 31st through April 4th, Monday through Friday, out of Miami. It's on the Norwegian Gem. And literally, when I tell you, you have easy access to these incredible Broadway stars. Soleil Pfeiffer is going to be on there. Alex Brightman, Beetlejuice himself, is going to be there.
Even
Corey
Oblazada.
Cott. Corey Cott's arms are going to be there. Yeah, Eva Noblezada, who was supposed to be here this past year, and she happened to be in a show called The Great Gatsby, so she couldn't. But Reeve Carney was. And just some really incredible performers, Shoshana Bean. But it's really great. You get on the ship. It's a full cruise, but it's just the charter. Oh, Christina's excited for the cruise too. It's fine. But you get onto the ship. There's kids that are on it. There's adults. There's older people. It's kind of something for everybody. There's still some activities, like the casino is open. So like this past itinerary literally sat and was playing poker with Matt Doyle, who was, Seymour and everything else in Little Shop. But it's just like hanging out with these people. But there's also panels, and there's what they call the stage door experience, where you can actually, can you guys hear these fireworks? Where you can get like the BroadwayCon poster or bring a playbill or something and get it signed, and there's no fee. And you can have a nice conversation. It's like walking up, if you've ever done a Comic-Con, you walk up to a table, you have a conversation with the person. This past sailing, I got to thank Cheyenne Jackson for getting me heavily involved with theater. Because it was the first show I saw. I was all shook up when he debuted in that show. Oh, Amber's on mute because Christina's barking. There we go.
Yep.
But they have theme nights. So I did my Phantom of the Opera ball gown riding around a cruise ship. It was fantastic. But you make friends. I went on it by myself, not knowing anybody, and I've left with a whole new family of people. They did like a talent show.
Photo on the ship too.
We did. Yeah, so the first day they actually started off with like a show to introduce all of the stars, and then they did like this massive photo. And like now, if you see anything from the Broadway cruise, all the video, like I'm in it. I'm like really tiny in the back.
Yeah.
But wearing a black and white striped hat. But yeah, I mean, I think they said like 1,700 people, but the ship holds like thousands. But they call it a charter, so it's just the people that signed up for the cruise, for the Broadway cruise. But yeah, there's cabarets that are free, and then you can either choose to purchase the package that includes like the private shows and like they're a performance. So like Carrie Butler did a private show this past cruise, Norm Lewis, and they have them simulcasted. So like spend the money or don't. For me to travel by myself in an inside stateroom, it's $700 for a 4-day cruise. And so next year it's going to Cozumel. So it's a day at sea, Cozumel, a day at sea and back. I'm here for it. Like I'm here to do the stuff on the ship. We dominated at Broadway trivia. They had Broadway karaoke. They had like a Broadway dance party. Everything Broadway. And you can work on your tan. Like this year, I literally moved up until the day before the cruise, left as I was moving. Took a train down to Miami from Orlando. Got on a cruise ship the very next morning. Spent the entire time on this cruise having like the best time ever. Literally was home 27 hours and was on a plane to New York when I got back for the opening night of Water for Elephants. Like, it was the best time ever. Amber, are you okay? Your eyes are rolling to the back of your head.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you yelling at Jimmy or Christina with those eyes? It's great.
Yes.
No poker face for you, but yes. So the Broadway cruise is amazing. I do have a promo code that I've been posting. If you guys want it, it'll give you $100 off your sailing, which is incredible because it's already so inexpensive, and it still includes all the food that's on the ship, and they have drink packages. You definitely want to do it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. I will answer any questions about what my experience was. There's just nonstop entertainment, and the even more fun part, like when you get back to your stateroom, instead of being like, oh God, what kind of random movie it's going to be on, it's all Broadway shows. So even if you're chilling in the room, yeah. So like, even if you're chilling in the room, like this past sailing was like West Side Story, Into the Woods, and The Heights. So like, you could rotate, but like, you're so tired and like you get into the room, you're like, all right, you put on a musical or whatever, you can look at the ship, and then you're like sleeping, and then you wake up and you're eating food and people are singing musicals. Like literally, as I was walking onto the ship, like after giving my ID, before I even started the cruise, there were people quoting the traveling song from the Shrek show, like from Shrek on Broadway. And I was like, I'm home. Like I found my people.
I'm here, yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, my friend Melissa was on there. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was just so much fun, and I'm so excited to be able to go back on. You've got crew, like creatives that are going to be on it. You've got celebrity guests that are going to be on it, and you've got me, and that's the important part. But I'm excited. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Definitely use that promo code as a referral. It'll give you $100 off if you're new to Six Man, which I think pretty much anybody would be here for Broadway. What else? What else is there on the bus, Amber?
I think we only have one topic left.
What is that?
That is to declare a winner of our peg doll contest.
Oh, woohoo! Winner, chicken dinner. We had like what, over 100 entries, right?
Over 100 entries. Yes, absolutely. Thank you everyone for entering, for liking the Broadway Fan Club page. So we're now able to stream from the page. That was a huge help to us. We appreciate you.
Yep.
And I have written all
I can give you a drum roll, but it might be delayed, and it'll be a fun thing.
In this bag. All of your names.
Oh my God. Is that a Tiffany bag?
It's not a real.
You're so bougie.
It's a Tiffany bag.
Fair enough. All right. That's a lot. Shake them up, baby.
Moment of truth.
All right, drum roll. Okay, go.
Our winner is Heidi Klingbeil.
Heidi. There you go. I was like, I couldn't see it on my little phone. Congratulations, Heidi. Hopefully you're watching. Otherwise, we will post your name on the Broadway Fan Club page. And then you will get a chance to pick between one of the we'll tag you, and you'll be able to pick one of the peg doll sets that were posted, and we will have it shipped off to you. But so exciting. I love when people win stuff. I want to enter for our contest too.
I know. I was going to say, I feel like we did promise to have another giveaway once we reached 100 members. So I think that we should be giving away our playbills next, correct?
Yeah. I think so. We're going to do our playbills. And then even on your trip yesterday, you even picked up some cool show cards, right?
I did, yes. So we'll have some giveaways coming very soon.
We're very excited for it, guys. Thanks for hanging for the extra 15 minutes. Sorry for the technical delays. I'm going to get on the phone with Spectrum as soon as we end this lovely video. As always, we're so excited. Cheyenne, we love that you've been hanging out with us and talking all night. Maybe you can come on the show one day. That'd be cool.
Yes, Cheyenne,
yes. We love when people make comments and talks. Like, we love it. And thank you so much for supporting us, guys. It really has been a whirlwind. And like, when I say I Wervis choose the ride every day, like, I choose this ride every single day. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so appreciative. Amber's appreciative, I think, right? One of these things.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you again to Vulva and Shane for coming on the episode today. We love them.
Yes. And I'm gonna post their link trees. So again, if you want to follow or reach out to Vulva, you can go on Linktree. So that's linktr.ee/Va-Voom Cabaret. VAVOOM CABARET. I'm sure they would love to hear from you. Or if you want to reach out to Shane, it is Linktree/ I see her. Linktree/ Boiled Horse, BOILEDHORSE. And the puppy text. Hey, Cheyenne. Cheyenne goes, hey, just hit me up. I'm down. You hit us. What's up? You do it.
Yeah.
You do it. And then, of course, if you need to find us, which you should all be part of all of our amazing groups, we just opened up a Tammy Faye on Broadway group. We have a Redwood group, and Boop the musical has been announced. We've got our Boop group too. We're so excited for that. And boy, do I have a story about meeting Pauline Kamaner when I was little, the creator and animator of Betty Boop. So exciting. But join us on the BroadwayFanClub.com. That'll take you to our Linktree. If you want to go right to our Linktree, it is Linktree.com/the BroadwayFanClub. You can find us generally on Mondays, unless one of us is out of town or has a show. So that's always fun. Because while Broadway is dark, we keep that ghost light burning. For now, thank you for joining us on this very special edition of our Tuesday show. And as Amber said, thank you so much to Vulva and Shane for joining us. Thank you guys all for joining us. And we hope to see you guys next week, next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You'll see Christina, the cute little pit right over there, not even paying attention. There's some puppy tags for you. Bye, Christina. Bye, Amber. Hope everybody has a great night. And thank you again for joining us. We can't wait to see you guys on the other side of the curtain. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.